catches, and it is because it catches the attention of viewers and helps the viewers to retain for the long period time so that they can purchase it. So why it is needed and what is its relevance? For the discussion, we have requested Mr. Rohan Ubriani, who presently runs his own ad agency and has also a number of multinational clients, and he has done MBA from Bombay University and also presently visiting, he is visiting faculty in many institutes. So on your behalf, I welcome Mr. Rohan Ubriani for the EdSet lecture. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Amrinder. Good afternoon, students. I am Rohan. Today, our subject for discussion is symbolism in advertising. As it's some of the topics that we'll be covering in the symbolism in advertising is its definition, the needs, categories, subjects represented, and the objectives. The definition, how do you define symbolism in advertising? It's basically a sign or a design or a graphic logo or an environment where you use that particular object to convey a lot of message without using so many words. As you would understand, the time is on a premium in any ad, whether it's print or in TV. So usage of the symbols becomes very important in advertising. One of the reasons why, another reason that we use the symbols is that in advertising, so the symbols also convey a lot of importance for the product or the service that is being advertised, because symbols actually tend to give you an impression that it's being very intelligent on the company to respect your intelligence and create certain symbols and those signs which convey a lot of things. See, symbolism does not pertain only to a picture or a logo or a design. It also means that they create a symbolic environment also, that we'll see as I would like to show you some of the ads as we go along this lecture, and then you will be able to appreciate as it goes along. See, these are some of the corporate logos which companies have created for their own companies. They could be company logos, they could be brand logos, or their sub-brand logos, which convey a lot of meaning and identification when the person goes along and sees an ad. You don't have to read the name of the company or the brand to identify a particular logo. Maruti or Hyundai or Tata's, they do not require a big explanation when it comes to their identification with the logos, in which they have spent crores and crores over a period of advertising running over decades. So that at the end of the day, whenever you see any communication from them, whether it's a press ad or a TV ad or a point of sales environment, you get to see, you don't have to go through the entire ad. One look and it gives you that identification, which company it comes from and where, what this communication is trying to convey. Another set of logos, international and national logos. Now these are some of the ads which I would like to show you one after the other. Maggie ad, which everybody knows of. See, there are two basic colors to the Maggie logo, red and yellow. They have used both the colors quite interestingly in the ad, spread across the entire ad. And the logo, again, a Maggie, which is also a graphic, symbolizes which house it comes from, house of Nestle's. And don't forget to see a very small green logo at the right bottom showing that it's a vegetarian product, without saying it in so many words. Indian Express ad, congratulating or say wishing its readers happy Holi. Without saying it in so many words, the rings, those rubber bands onto the newspaper, it's of different colors, depicting that it's a festival of colors. One of the very interesting and touching ads of our times, HelpAge India, where they need not convey a lot of things associated with the old age. Most problem with most old age people is the decay of their teeth. sooner or later, everybody has to go through this kind of a problem. Without saying it in so many words, they just shown a artificial denture saying, do you think the one who wears it is as happy? It's, it's extremely symbolic of the agency who created this ad saying, without showing all problems related to the dental problem of the old people, it just is touching you somewhere symbolically. I'll just show you some of the TV ads which will also uh, highlight the symbolism in advertising. This coming ad, which is of Amul, is full of symbolism throughout its ad. It'll be just there with you in few seconds. It shows the entire family. It's a family product. It's also will show you some parts of defense services showing the loyalty as symbolism. Let's have a look and then we can discuss this.
यही तो अमूल भैया स्वाद इंडिया का अमूल the taste of India अमूल the taste of India अमूल the taste of India यही तो अमूल भैया स्वाद इंडिया का अमूल the taste of India अमूल the taste of India अमूल the taste of India बनाते हर पल को हर पल मस्ती का
Okay, students, we saw in this ad a number of symbolism. The lyric is saying its own thing about the Amul, the taste of India, but it is also showing the entire country, its culture, its beliefs, the way we unite as a family. We look at armed forces for a lot of strength and loyalty, and all this thing has a positive rub-off on the brand that is being advertised, indirectly conveying everything without using any words at all, and using symbolism as a great power to connect with your subconscious mind. The next ad that I would like to show you will be of the Limca. Let's see this Limca new ad. You must have seen this ad quite a few times on your TV. Let's have a look at it again.
फुहारे बौछारे नजारे चुरा लो ना कुछ बूंदे चुरा लो ना थकी सी जिंदगी से रुकी सी जिंदगी से कुछ लम्हे चुरा लो ना कुछ यादें और सपने अपने चुरा लो ना वो रुकी सी जिंदगी से थकी सी जिंदगी से रफ्तारें चुरा लो ना फ्रेश हो जाओ.
See, there were these three kinds of symbolisms in this ad. One was that it is showing the soft drink in a romantic environment, showing young boy and a girl talking about, things which make sense to the young couple. Secondly, its end, the point which they want you to carry home after seeing the ad is fresh ho jao. Now they use the water very interestingly and very symbolically throughout the ad, because there isn't anything better than the water showing refreshness. And the third aspect was the lyric by itself, using words which are not so much connected to the depiction of or the visualization of the entire ad. All three things, all three symbolism coming together and conveying a central idea that Limca is a superior soft drink compared to any other soft drink that is available in the market. Third ad, which is actually social ad, Polio one.
अच्छा लड़का है, वो आज यहाँ है और आगे भी हर बार यही होगा, ताकि जो उसके साथ हुआ वो किसी और राजा के साथ न हो। ऐसे न जाने कितने राजा हैं जिनका दोष सिर्फ इतना है कि उनके लिए कोई 2 कदम नहीं चल सका।
11 फरवरी को 5 साल तक के हर बच्चे को पोलियो की दवा अवश्य पिलाएं।
हर बच्चा हर माँ सिर्फ 2 बूंद जिंदगी की। क्या आप अपने राजा के लिए 2 कदम नहीं चल सकते?
Two very significant symbolism. I'm sure by now you'll be able to identify what I'm talking about. Use of a celebrity to convey a message. Someone like any other person, any other model, any other person saying the same thing may not have that kind of impact. It's exactly the same words. If they're used by somebody else, they will have a lesser meaning. Using Amitabh Bachchan as a communicator, the one who impresses you, the one who has a great following, subject of it because of his years of being the role model for many people in the country. And the second symbolism is usage of the child. Though this product, this pertain to for the children below 5 years only, but they have used children as symbolism. It's very striking symbolism of, touching your heart and saying, why can't we just take 2 steps for him to take right steps all his life? Otherwise he'll be on the wrong track all the time. Okay, let's move on to the other part of our presentation. Need for symbolism. Why do we need symbolism? Human audience demands symbolic interpretation in everything it sees and knows. If it doesn't get it, it will return a verdict of no interest. Symbolism take away the boredom from any advertisement. See, imagine somebody releasing an ad, some company or say an ad agency releasing an ad in a newspaper or a TV. In a newspaper it says, this is what the product is, this is what it does for you, therefore you should go and buy it. Very boring. Same in the TV. Somebody comes and tells you, hey, listen, this is the product, this is what it does, you go and buy it, it will be good for you. You're not going to be interested. They have to use symbolism to cut short on the text or the messages or preaching you to do something. Nobody likes doing it. Another reason, another need why there's a symbolism in advertising, that human beings are not confined to rationality in their market behavior, but may also be non-rational as opposed to irrational. You see, a rational behavior is a logical and based on reason. Irrational, on the other hand, is illogical and without reason. In between lies the non-rational behavior. Non-rational is, I may end up buying something because it's the communication of that product, whether it's ad or TV or whatever, has made some impression on me that I tend to like the ad, and therefore I also buy the product, not because I like the ad only, but also I like the product also. There are a number of products available in the market. I may just go ahead and buy it, and somebody say, why did you buy? Because I need the product, but then why this only? Probably I may not be able to explain. So nobody can call it a rational decision or irrational. It's non-rational because somewhere the symbolism in the ad has touched a chord in me and I went ahead and bought it. Now, research has proved that human subjectivity and need for symbolism is now a part and parcel of our existence. We just cannot live without symbolism anymore. We need symbols in every aspect of our life. Forget about advertising and the product or the services it advertises or its presence in the market. You look at anywhere, you need a flag for the country. You need a symbol for the political parties. It also takes away a lot of requirement of effort on the part of viewer to actually decipher the meaning of a communication. Again, we want and desire symbolism in advertising. What is at stake here is a deeply felt human need. That's what I had explained just now. Now, apart from one of the most interesting reason for symbolism is that we never relate to goods or services only for their plain utility. There is always a symbolic aspect to our interactions with them. In fact, the last point, the need and desire for symbolism is one of the defining features of human nature. what are the objectives? Objectives for symbolism. Again, the time is at premium, that is one big major thing. The second is symbolism is associated with class and therefore thereby enhancing the brand image of the advertised product or the service. Symbolism uses intelligent medium like illustrations, graphics, designs, signs, which in one instant they convey the entire meaning of the person who is pushing that forward. One of the most interesting and great reason for symbolism is that it overcomes the barriers of education and language, successfully communicating the gist of the ad. Our country, with due respect to everyone, we have a lot of people who are not able to read any language, and probably they are not able to understand every language also when it comes to hearing it also. For example, if say a person who is not educated but there is a product meant for him, then uneducated person is also a target audience for a lot of products and services advertised by the marketers. Now if he gets to see an ad, not necessarily a newspaper ad. If he's not educated, probably he is not buying the newspaper. But he goes out of the house, he sees a hoarding, he goes to a shop, he sees POS material, he sees something written there with the product picture on it. He may not be able to read anything, but those small logos, whether it's company logo, whether it's brand logo, whether it's a features logo, and if there is an interesting aspect, interesting design to it in terms of either a caricature or some humor or a funny image to it, he will connect. He will understand what it is. Instead of reading the whole ad, which is not able to do so, he will understand, and therefore he will make his own choice whether he's impressed, not impressed, liked, not liked. Same with TV. Today, if you know one or two or three languages in the country, probably one is your national language, one is your mother tongue, probably one, two or three other languages that you know. But today, if you get to see a TV commercial of a particular product in a language which is not known to you, you can't make out what is being said or sung in the ad. But seeing the whole ad, whether it's 10 seconders, 20 seconders, 30 seconders, or 40 seconders, seeing the whole ad, I'm sure you will be able to make out at least 70 to 80% of what is being conveyed visually without having to understand exactly what is being said by the person in the ad or through a song or a lyric in the ad. Categories of symbolism in advertising. Static. We use static symbolism in all categories: print, TV, out of home, point of sales. Now these are the small symbols, whether they're logos, sub-logos, again special feature graphics showing something, like if you would have seen the Wagon ads, there they have this red circle with a cross across through the circle as through the diameter with a cockroach trapped in it. Now without saying that, it says, the headline somewhere says no entry for pets. Now without reading anything, you know that this is a pest product for pests, and without going through the whole ad, it's Wagon ad, this is what they do because it's unique to them and nobody else uses it, and you understand what the communication is trying to say. The same static graphics are used in TV as well. But there is another category of in-motion symbolism in advertising, used mainly in TV ads, also in related media like CCTV at point of sales. Now there, if you see in a lot of ads, you may not use a static symbol for symbolism. You use the environment as symbolism, showing a doctor recommending a toothpaste or a tooth powder, saying that this is good, without saying it in so many words, that he's a doctor and he says that this is good for your children, this is good for your family, and it's a great product. He may not be identified as a doctor himself, but wearing a white coat, standing in a clinic, this is what in motion symbolism is. You put a person whom you can identify without the ad saying this is what it is. Same goes with children, same goes with the role models like your film stars, any other celebrity endorsing a product, saying this is what I do and this is what you should do. Shah Rukh Khan talking about the features of Hyundai, driving Hyundai, is indirectly saying that I am successful, you like me, you follow a lot of things that I do, you believe in me, so I believe in Hyundai Centro, so you should also look at considering buying this particular product. Subjects. Subjects represented through symbols and advertising. Main logos, sub-logos, and overall environment of the ad. It could be, you can use colors also as a background of the ad in print ads. You could also use shapes, general look, time. What time? If when you see a commercial being aired and you're looking at the ad, if the ad has been shot either during the daytime or in the night time, whether it has got certain filters, certain color filters, it is giving some kind of a look, light brown look, light green filters. It is also conveying something through this symbolic representation. Okay, students, I think we have more or less covered the subject. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Okay, well, you have mentioned, you have already shown the different kind of advertisement according to, but the presentation, the social needs different, commercial needs different, political needs different. So how such needs are represented through the symbolism?
Can you please repeat the question?
The question is the social, if there are social advertisement like polio,
Yes.
and if someone want to advertise their products, that demands different. But the use of say successful person like film star are used. So how can they differentiate in advertising? Yeah, how they consider to present in the advertisement?
You see, every every celebrity is a role model for a certain section of the society. One section follows the film stars, and that's how you see a lot of film stars coming and endorsing a lot of products and services, like Shah Rukh and Amir Khan and Amitabh Bachchan, and they come and endorse a lot of products. Airtel, you can look at Nokia, or a lot of other lifestyle products also. In some cases, you would see people like Javed Akhtar, who's a great lyricist. He comes and advertises for a pen, for a brand of pen, saying fighter hamesha jeetta hai.
Fine.
You would also see a lot of social workers coming and advertising, say endorsing a certain product, or even a sports person. A sports person also a lot of role models. So they also have their following. So it becomes easier to use them as symbolism in advertising, so that the message is communicated effectively. Some unknown personality, unknown person, a normal model, male or female, coming and doing the same thing, which we have those ads also. So doing the same thing, it may or may not work. It may or may not click with the target audience. The target audience may or may not accept his point of view. But if Dhoni comes and says that, you buy Aircel, a lot of people are bound to follow without giving it much thought. So using these personalities for communicating the message, especially in a social environment, works. Like Amitabh Bachchan coming and saying, go take your child to polio. Had it been any other person, any other unknown model, it may not have that kind of impact.
Okay. You have also been in running your own ad agency.
Yes.
So you must have someone came to you, said this we want. So the thing is from idea to implementation. So at the originating point, you have some idea, you analyze the angle, what to be given. So can you say you generate the idea, how you think, what suppose the company demands from you, and what you think? So how do you proceed from idea, from concept to implementation?
Okay, very good question. In fact, at some point of time, we were handling we had one client by the name of UNICEF. Everybody knows what UNICEF is and what UNICEF does. So they had one project running in our 4 national states, which is called CSSM project, Child Survival and Safe Motherhood. Now, in that project, which was focused on the 4 states, that was Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and UP. Now, there they had a lot of funds committed to this project, which is basically for the survival of the mother during its pregnancy of 9 months, and survival of the child in the first year of, that is, first 12 months of the child. Now, according to UNICEF, these 9 months of woman's pregnancy and the first 12 months of a child are the most crucial months. So this is where the lot of care is required, and this is where a lot of deaths take place, because of that's how the MMR and IMR rate goes up. So our task was to design certain communications so that we can communicate to them in a very simple and straightforward manner, knowing that our target audience is illiterate, lives in remote villages, they forget about the school, they struggle all day to organize their 2 squares of meals, and their biggest problem is feeding the family, whichever way you can. I mean, even if, like, say, going to say local river and filling up the water in an urn and bringing home without realizing that it could have the infections or contaminations. But then what we did basically was that we looked at the target audience, we spent some time in those areas and understood what would work with them. Now, one major thing that comes through is that you have to understand the media habit of the target audience, what media they're exposed to. See, living in cities, we have TV, we also newspaper, we are educated, we can see anything, we go out, we have hoardings, we got road shows and exhibitions or whatnots, and whereas in those areas, one, they are not educated, the TV probably is there or not there, radio again to a small extent. What we created for them is that these people regularly go to village fairs. So we created those, and then they also have their own local art also, which they use to decorate their huts, the walls of the huts, the frontage of the hut, where when somebody comes in, he should be greeted with certain designs, and they have their own say certain designs which they buy in terms of the clothes or whatever. So we studied all that, and using those designs as a base, we created certain communications and used them in the village fairs, so that the idea is communicated that these are the things you should do when a woman gets pregnant. These are the 9 things that during the 9 months, this is what you do. You go to a primary health center, meet those midwives and talk to them and get the checkup done, and during pregnancy where you should go and do it, all this. So we had to understand who the target audience is, what their media habits are, what will work, what will not work with them, where all they go, and what their media habits are.
Okay. As you mentioned that there are many messages, not one message what you wanted to communicate. In this case, the retention of message become more important, not to communicate. Suppose 4 or 5 message you want to communicate, get it check up, how it can be prevented, so other measures also. So in this case, what kind of a symbolism, a static or motion symbolism, and different types of symbolism you just said. So which one will be more useful, and how could it retention or attention can be more pronounced, can be.
Okay. You see, if you go to any village in these 4 states or any other part of the country, you will see every state or every region has its own specific art which they create for their own usage. So basis that like the South Indians or the North Indians will have a different ways of expressing their feelings, their environment, their culture, their religion. So using those pictures and using the illustrations instead of using the real pictures, because real pictures get identified in terms of the look of the face, the complexion of the people, the health, the height, the age, everything comes through in a picture. So we just cut away from there and we use simple illustrations. See, one of the examples which I would connect, because right now I don't have those visuals to show it to you, but you can connect with, we created something like the ones you have seen on the TV these days, the Zuzus in Vodafone ad. You see, those people, they are not identifiable. They're using costumes and they are conveying a certain message of that particular brand. We used similar kinds of illustrations throughout our communication package and used in different environment. In fact, we also distributed certain tiles free of cost to these people to put it outside the walls of their huts, so that they look for a lot of tiles which they buy from the local village fairs and all, but this was given free with an illustration of what do you do when a childbirth is taking place. We shown a small cup with fumes coming out, as if like, okay, you boil the water, then you use sterilized objects by dipping into that boiled water, and then you use for the rest of the activity. We also shown that somebody washing clothes and drying another tile, and then so that you use dry clean cloth for any activity that you associate with that particular process of childbirth.
Okay, moving on from social and product advertising, I come to political advertising. In the beginning, there was word, but that has more impact. Like in '72, Garibi Hatao, it has impact on masses, and the entire country came to know what is it, and persuaded the masses to vote in a favor of particular party. Now, from words, not only words but visuals are also using, but still they are not communicating what they want, or not having impact, influence over the voters' minds. So, is this communication, or how you see this? What the solution to what you say challenge for the ad man?
See, the biggest thing that I have noticed in last so many years that I've been seeing, especially the political activity in the country. Now, the way
we are not thinking about issues. We are only want to analyze through the angle of advertisement.
Yeah, you see, every political party during elections, or sometimes otherwise also, they use to communicate what they need to say, especially during the election times, that they come out with a lot of ads saying that, telling people why they should vote for them.
Right.
And they also use lot of visual communications, including the logo. You see, today probably we are one of the very few countries in the world where we have a election symbol granted to every political party. The very basic reason for that is that majority of our voters are not so literate to actually read in any language what party they should vote to. They can't read the name of the candidate, they can't read the name of the party. So therefore they promote their symbols throughout their campaign, whether it's TV, or today the TV is more prevalent. Press was much less, because again the newspapers and magazines are basically uneducated customers or educated person's medium. So they used a lot of, they promoted their symbols throughout the country. Now, even today, despite the rise in the education in the country, the population has still, outnumbered in terms of the number of education institutions required for them. So, the need for using those political symbols to convey to the electorate that this is what I am. I mean, without talking about a particular symbol, every political party has its own symbol, and this is what they take it across to the public. Now, symbol may or may not have any meaning by itself, because they're allotted, they're not chosen by the political parties. So, public has to understand, okay, this is what the party is, this is what the candidate is, and if I have to vote for this person, this is a symbol I have to put the stamp on, or I have to press that button in EVMs also. But over and above, unless the education of the country improves, it will be very difficult to get out of this trap of usage of symbols in political parties' campaigns, and people should be able to understand that what is being communicated, whether it's valid or invalid. Today they just go by the symbol and the party's position in the country.
Okay, what is the central focus of the ad makers? Is it to communicate the message, or how the people interpret the message?
Please.
Is it just to communicate the message? Yeah, how the message could be interpreted by the viewers?
You see, every advertising agencies, or say every professional ad man's basic objective for creating any communication for any of its clients or advertiser is to communicate the salient points of a particular product or a service in the simplest possible manner, so that it is deciphered or this is understood by even the person with average or below average intellect. You see, if my message is very high flown or esoteric or something which can be understood only by highly educated or highly intelligent people, then I'll be able to impress only a minority of such people, and therefore the product will not be picked up or bought by the people. So the objective is that communication should be simplest possible, so that it should make sense to the average or below average intelligent person also. Secondly, the objective also is to communicate the information of the product in terms of what this product is all about, who are most likely to benefit by using this product, what this product can do, how much does it cost. Sometimes the cost is not conveyed in so many words, that this cost you X amount of rupees, but the environment of the ad also sometimes convey that this is a very expensive product, or it's not very expensive product, it's affordable product, or it's meant for masses. The environment also is to be used absolutely properly, so that it is meeting the expectations of the target audience in terms of understanding and creating a buying atmosphere in his own mind, that whether I want to buy this or not buy this.
So that is my point. You try to communicate whatever you want to communicate, but if suppose that is interpreted differently, so the whole campaign is become meaningless.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. See, every agency usually takes care to communicate the right information to the target audience for the benefit of the advertiser, because it is the advertiser who's spending money behind this communication. Nobody who spends money would like to see his money going waste. But I agree with you, quite a few times the communication fails to communicate what the product is, or probably sometimes the product's features are not communicated properly. Sometimes their product communicated properly, but then they have targeted an audience which is least likely to buy. It is not targeted to the right audience also. And sometimes you use the incorrect media also for a particular target audience. If they're not using, say for example, housewives, if you have to connect with housewives regarding household products, it's very unlikely that you could use, say, a product like, or say media like Economic Times or Financial Express. They also read. It's not that they don't read these magazines, but the most appropriate media environment for them would be TV or the channels which show family-oriented programs, because that is what the majority of the women get to see in our country. Expecting them to read their household product ad in Economic Times or any financial or any specialist newspapers like that, that will be a mistake.
Okay, how will you interpret or analyze the present advertisement by both national political parties?
That I would like to refrain from doing so, because
No,
that could be...
analyzing the ad point of view, that is not...
okay,
because the students must have noticed recently, and accordingly youth.
Okay, see, this could be little tricky in terms of answering this question, but see...
we are not asking which one is the best, the angle wise, advertisement wise, because a lot of money has been spent on this.
Lots, crores and crores.
Crores, 300, 400 crores rupees.
Okay, see, if you look at the political say ad campaign of say Congress party, their message was very simple. It talked about the Aam Aadmi, it talked about Badhte Kadam, it talked about the you take one step, we are with you. they use very simple, small words.
Okay,
And
it connected with the
it
masses.
connected with the masses because they were simple words, and the message was also simple, that बढ़ते कदम आम आदमी के साथ. So this is what everybody wants to hear, that majority of us are Aam Aadmi. I mean, nobody is a Khas, I mean, not many people are Khas Aadmi, they're very few. So most electorate is Aam Aadmi, and they would like to hear this and say, okay, I'm taking one step, you're coming along with me, taking me forward, great. It's understandable. And this is, see, there are two ways to communicate. One is the communication from the point of view of the target audience. What he wants to see, what he wants to listen, what he thinks, what he wants. You look at it from his point of view and communicate what he expects. The other is, which in my opinion as a professional shouldn't be done. The first thing should always be done. You should always look at from the consumer point of view and communicate what he wants to hear. The incorrect thing from my as a professional, what I believe, is what other parties did. They communicated not what you were looking for. I'm not bothered. This is what I am and this is what I can do. That's, in my opinion, is incorrect. You see, you're communicating who you are and what you can do, and where your strength lies. That's also a part of the communication, but that should be done always from the consumer point of view. You see, all my strength, all my ability, all my experience is for what? It's as a political organization. This is for what? Everything that I have, the positivity, it's for the benefit of the electorate or the target audience or the common man that I'm going to represent in the country if I win. All my strength is not for my own personal use. So the person who's going to vote for you, he'll say, okay, you're talking about yourself. You're not talking about me. So therefore I don't vote. I mean, without going into the details of what message the political parties have conveyed through their own campaigns, most of them, as I noticed, they were communicating who they are and how strong they are.
Fine.
Without communicating.
Okay, we have almost touched everything except one thing: evolution of symbolism in advertising.
Okay, see, evolution.
Little bit, if you can explain it.
You see, as would be clear from my presentation or my lecture also. See, the evolution of symbolism dates back.
And the major landmark, maybe.
Okay, see, landmarks, one can go into the history and see, the evolution of symbolism actually began from the day the mankind came into being, because initially there was no language when the people came into this world, and there was no language to be used. They all used sign languages. As the time went, they used different kinds of symbols to convey a particular text or a meaning. So as the time went along, languages were created one after the other, and then other languages also came out of the older languages. Like Sanskrit is the mother of most of the languages that we have in the country. But symbolism is still practiced. See, in the olden days, symbolism was kind of a compulsion, because without that, you couldn't communicate at all. Symbols were the only way of communication. Today, symbolism is used as a value enhancer, as the enhancement of the communication, either through text, words, or your visual communication. In both of them, the symbols are used to enhance or to ensure that the message is gone across nice and proper to the target audience.
So we can say one way or another way, the word is also kind of symbol.
Yes,
the way
right, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a very old phenomena. It's not a new one. I think we also have question from other center.
Okay, please.
Yeah, we have a question from other center, I think. Okay. So what in coming days you think that symbolism is going to play a role in both corporate world, in political world, in social world?
See, symbolism is here to stay, and it is definitely going to grow as the time goes, because, as I said, symbolism not only enhances the communication, which is basically an add-on to the words and the visual that we use in communicating anything these days. It enhances the value. Secondly, by itself also, it is an eliminator of lot of words and visuals otherwise that we would be using in terms of it shortens the time span of communicating. Symbolism, I mean, if you see, they will not go away and they will going to grow. You look at, apart from advertising, symbolism is growing in the world of art also. You look at all these paintings and the art, the people are engaged in that activity. Now, that is also a very premium segment, which is not a mass-oriented segment, but there the symbolism is appreciated, and as the world population gets more and more educated, the appreciation for symbolism, the requirement for symbolism is bound to grow, and more sooner or later you will have ads coming which will have less number of words, less number of visuals, less number of people, but more symbols to communicate what that particular communication is all about.
Yeah, so I have question from other center.
Yeah, please.
Hello? Hello? Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Ask your question, please. Ask your question.
Sir, I want to ask, are symbols more impactful, are symbols more effective than text
Are
used
symbols
in advertising?
are symbols more impactful?
Can you repeat your question?
Are symbols more impactful or effective than text we use
Yeah.
in advertising?
Okay, okay.
Decidedly yes. Decidedly yes.
How it can you explain a little bit?
You see, if you see any of the ads, now if I just shown you one of the, I have shown you one. I have just shown you one ad of Maggie where if you see,
Yeah.
see in this one, one of the simple ways to answer your question is that in this ad or say any other, has it gone?
Yeah, you continue.
Okay. One of the ads, it's this symbol of this green dot at the right bottom corner. Instead of saying that it is a vegetarian product, these are 4 English words. It is a vegetarian product. 5 English words. This one small green dot at the right bottom has replaced these 5 words, conveying very clearly, without any doubt, that it is a vegetarian product. There are okay. The reverse is also you would see. If you go to McDonald's or any other place, they will serve you a burger or say whatever you would ask for. They will have a red dot there saying which everybody knows that it is a non-veg product. So that instead of using those 4 or 5 words, we have these kind of symbols conveying very simply without taking much space and without you spending time to read those 5 words. It's communicated very clearly what this product is in terms of vegetarianism or non-vegetarianism.
Hello?
I hope I have answered your question.
Hello? Ask another question, please.
So wait, sir. So please wait
Okay.
for next question.
Okay. So what is said that picture is a picture expression.
That how symbol, I mean, if symbols can be more communicating than
Yeah.
words.
Yeah.
Now look at this. This is what I said just now.
Yeah.
That this one small symbol is replacing those 5 words.
Yeah.
That it is a vegetarian product.
Right.
It doesn't have to say in so many words.
Yeah. Yeah. Ask another question, please. Okay. 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 What the challenges you face when you get some new assignment?
Okay. See, most of the time what we are faced with is that there is usually see we operate from the client brief, whether it's a written brief or say verbal brief. When he calls us for for a new campaign or a new activity in his regarding his product or service. It could be a seasonal, or it could be say somebody coming out with say somebody who has a consumer products. They are more likely to be sold during say our festive season starting say September, October, right up to March. So during this period, a lot of advertising takes place and a lot of shopping takes place because this festival season is usually followed by marriage season also. So there are a lot of products which are of today. There's hardly any product differentiation. So our clients come and ask about the creating some kind of a product differentiation through the communication. So we specialize in all that. I mean, see, every ad agency specializes in creating a product differentiation through communication, even if the product differentiation does not exist in terms of its basic, say, ingredients or content or whatever. But the challenge comes through that when the client is actually not very clear that whom it wants to target and what all is his the geographical area of target.
Hello. Hello. Net. Okay. 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 Wait for it. Okay. Thank you. So, one more question because which one would be more interesting and more student we would like to know how one can start ad agency.
Okay, I think this is one of the things that I promote within my own organization also. There are a lot of people who keep joining. We keep hiring people from the management institutes every year.
Okay.
And one of the things that we encourage them is to be entrepreneur on their own rights as the time goes.
Okay.
See, one thing is that you could look at if you're interested in advertising and you would like to start your own advertising or communication agency. One simple thing to do is to look at some kind of a specialized course from a particular institute. So a lot of institutes in the country, they like the management institutes also offer a particular course or a subject as a part of their curriculum. There are institutes also like we have this Indian Institute of Mass Communication or some things like that. We have a lot of institutes who are specializing in giving a one-year diploma, PG diploma into the advertising and communications. I would suggest that people who have their own whatever background they have, whether they have simple graduations or masters in any subject, if they have interest in advertising, please look at doing at least 6 months course, if not 1 year course, from these kind of institutes which are recognized and which impart the specialist advertising knowledge or education. And after that, one could also consider working for say at least 2 to 4 years in an ad agency to understand the practical aspects, how the agency functions, what all departments are there, how the business is generated, how it is executed, and how you compete in the industry, not only as an ad agency with other ad agencies in terms of quality or cost cutting, but also you have to compete for the products or of your clients, products or services of your clients, because they are also competing in their own environment. So one will have to understand all this by working for any ad agency or say a good ad agency for 2 to 4 years and then taking the plunge to set up your own communication agency.
Okay. What are the qualities or what is the skill one should have? Suppose someone join to your agency as a training, and you can predict, yeah, he is going to be a good advertisement man. He will prove good. So how can you decide what are the essential qualities or you look for the good? It's a creativity, intelligence, yeah, the way he present good presentation, a combination of all these.
See, one of the major most factor is that he should have the confidence in his own ability. He should also be adequately educated in a particular in that particular field of his activity, whether he is into client services or whether he wants to get into art or design or whether he's going to be a media specialist. He has to have a certain background in terms of education, training and experience of that particular field, and basis that the confidence comes naturally.
Okay.
So one should be able to communicate that this is what my background is and this is what I can do and this is where I want to go. Ambition is also a very critical component of somebody's say personality makeup, which takes him further, whether he wants to rise within the organization and have an entrepreneurial mind, or he would like to branch off and set up his own other enterprise and take it forward.
Okay, given a chance, we have question from EMMRC Srinagar. nowadays we see some ads which symbolize things which are not up to the moral standard. Can you please comment on the same?
Uh, yes, I agree with you. There are a lot of ads which has a symbolism which are not very appreciable. But then, as you see, you would also understand that as due to media explosion, today you get to see everything. In the olden times we had just Doordarshan, and then we get to see whatever it shows. Today you have so many channels and different kinds of channels showing different programs, barring news channels or sports channels. We have channels which show anything from anything. So, and that also doesn't take care of our cultural sensitivities in terms of people with, say, a metro outlook may be a little more tolerant of these excesses, I would say. But as you go down, okay, again, it is not too much of a metro or a non-metro concept. It is basically somebody who is sensitive culturally, religiously, or in terms of its background. One doesn't have too much of, say, global exposure where you tend to tolerate such things. But yes, there has to be a balance between what you can show and what you will have to connect with the target audience and understand their sensitivities and sensibilities. Now, there are two ways to look at it. One is that someone who does it and hurting or harming the sensitivities or sensibilities of the target audience, he is actually digging his own grave, because if you mess with your target audience, your product or service is not going to be accepted by the people who are hurt or harmed. Secondly, we have our own advertising, say, watchdogs on these. So we have ASCI, Advertising Standards Council of India. Then we have another organization called AAAFI, Advertising Agencies Association of India. So we have these organizations who are supposed to look at these aspects and put a stop to it, or at least bring them into control. But by and large, since advertising falls into the area of, say, of free thinking art environment, so it becomes difficult to frame rules that what is on, what is not on. But yes, I agree with you that there are certain symbolism, without getting into examples, which I'm sure you have those examples. That's why you brought up this question. Without getting into those examples, we have certain objectionable symbolism in the advertising today, whether it's TV, print, or anywhere else. I accept.
Okay. Well, friends, your concern is genuine, and what Mr. Rohan Ubriani said, that there are many agencies who are having control and are involved in checking the objectionable symbolism should not go, but is still going on. So it's in fact the moral responsibility of the ad man. They should restrain themselves and present in a way, present the things which is not so obscene and so unwelcome by the viewers. So with these words, we end the lecture here and thank all of you for watching the lecture. And on your behalf, we thank Mr. Rohan Ubriani for giving such a wonderful lecture on symbolism in advertising. Thank you.